All right. Y'all know what time it is. We had to start. Look, full transparency. We were going to take a break and not do the show today, but news dropped, so we gotta go with the punches. Anyway, you're listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the urban sports scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. I'm Wole, and I'm joined by my guy George, the homie Glen should be joining us shortly. Anyway, and also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold, everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. It is up on IG and TikTok at ABG_everything. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports and YouTube channel as well. If you're not YouTube channel. I'm tripping. Like, I've been doing multiple shows, George. I said the Urban Sports thing. I meant All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat right now, we do accept super chats. So we'll make sure it helps us support the show. So if you're on our YouTube chat, please, not please, but if you feel free to hit us up with a super chat, and we'll make sure we prioritize that message, or that message onto the screen. So we make sure those super chats are highlighted. And best believe this topic's so lit that we will be prioritizing those super chats, right, George?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Also,
we will. I just want to let the people know.
Yeah,
I was ready for a nice, quiet night with some wrestling and some Commanders content and urban sports scene content on my laptop that I was going to catch up on because I'm behind.
Yeah.
That's what I was ready for. I had a nice day at work. It's too hot down here, but it's too hot everywhere. And then this just kind of messed everything
up. We're going to get to that, George. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. Also, this is also being streamed on the Urban Sports Scene X account as well. All right, time for the pregame, which we have on tap. As George mentioned, he's boiling. I'm kind of boiling too. George is on my team. He got his notes. He got his list. You know what I'm saying? You know what time it is. Anyway, it's reported today that wide receiver Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. So let's get into it. And George, when you heard the news, what were your thoughts, bro?
Well, let me just set the scene. I'm finishing work. It's been a pretty good day at work. Busy, but not terrible. Everything's going smooth. I'm literally walking into the station. Thank God it was at night. If this had happened in the morning and I had to face the Eagles fan who's already doing this mess, already flapping his wings at me every day since training camp started, I'm sure I'm going to face the music tomorrow. But I had a good day. Thursday's done, which means you're one day from the weekend. You know what that feeling's like. All you folks out here got 8 to 5s and whatever, or 10 to 7s like I do, and you work Monday through Friday. That Thursday finishes, you're like, we're almost there. We got one more day to go. And then I see that notification that Terry McLaurin has requested a trade, and I'm just sitting there going, I cannot believe we are here.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe we are here. When you look, and we're going to talk about the people that were in charge those many years ago, and they got this done without any kind of drama like this. And here we are with a better ownership and a better front office and a better head coach and a better team. And this is happening in the year of our Lord 2025. What in the hell are we doing, Wole?
I don't know. My man Paul said, I will trade him before I overpay him. All right. So, hey, Paul, man, appreciate you. I make sure I prioritize that. Thanks for super chat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me and Paul disagree on this, so we already know what time it is. All right. So, when I heard, I said, this is strictly still business. It's business. It's at the end of the day, like Myles Garrett said, requested a trade. T. Higgins requested a trade. All these guys, a lot of these dudes request trades after they don't get the money that initial in terms of negotiation. So this does happen. This is not something different. I know a lot of people in this fan base want to go crazy over it. This does happen. This is the next step when you're not getting your money, when you're trying to negotiate, right? And all those deals kind of worked out. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But also, this is the notion of and I'm gonna keep saying this again. We watch sports for a while. We all got sports. Yeah, thank you. TJ Watt did too. Exactly. Thank you, Jay. TJ Watt did too. So it's part of it. Joe.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Joe. So it's all part of the process, right? So, but when we talk about overpay, so let's really break this down. George, you're gonna probably come up with your list. You told me beforehand, so I'm not gonna ruin what you got situated. But I will say this though. Again, I'm gonna say this as me as a basketball who loves basketball, who's played basketball or any sport. I like a dude who can give you numbers with less than a person that can give you numbers with more. Let that sink, and that's in all sports. So when someone says somebody one is overrated, right? You're overpaid or whatever you want to call it. That means that the reason why you assess that and say that is because that person's been playing with a lot of talent and maybe you put up numbers, not a person who can put up numbers with less. So that person can never be, to me, like you can never say that person's overpaid. Overpaid compared to who? That's my thought process. When you say overpaid compared to who? Overpaid compared to DK Metcalf? No. Overpaid compared to, if you're gonna say Jamar Chase and all that, all right, but they're paid in a higher bracket. So who is he overpaid compared to? That's when people say overpaid, because the market is set. That's the problem. Like, let's put this out there. The market is set. Because if that's the case, you could say a lot of quarterbacks are overpaid, right?
Oh, could you?
So when but that's the market, right? That's the market.
Long list.
Yeah, that's the market. The wide receiver market has been set. Period. Point blank. Period. So, and I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. If Washington don't give him the money that he's asking for, like some of the numbers I'm seeing some folks saying, he's gonna get the money from somebody. Let me keep that perfect. Put it out there easily. He's going to get the money somewhere from somebody. So if you're saying he's overpaid because he won't produce, you don't believe he's going to produce? I would say that all he showed you was that he can produce. He could produce with your worst quarterback. He could produce with a dude that's a backup. He could produce with dudes that are third string quarterbacks. Well, and so that's what I'm saying. Like when people say I'm not going to overpay for him. What is your definition of overpay? Compared to who? Overpaid compared to who is always the thought process. Who are you comparing the overpaid to? That's all I'm gonna say. So George, I didn't want to ruin your point because I know you had valid points. So go ahead, George.
No, and you put it, and as usual, Wole, you put the case very, very well, and I'm going to expound on that. But I want to set my stall out this way. Where I've been all along is that he does deserve a contract similar to what DK Metcalf had. If it's me and I'm Adam Peters, I'd offered him 3 years, $100 million, $70 million guaranteed. And if he wasn't taking that because he wants Chase and Jefferson money, as has been rumored, then we're gonna have a different conversation. But I don't think he's been offered anywhere near that. Mm-hmm. I don't know that. That is a guess on my part. And I've had people talking about he should be getting Cortland Sutton's contract. That's
disrespectful. I know.
And I was gonna say, to me, that would be an insult to Terry McLaurin, and here's why. Now, Wole's told you, and of course, as I said, absolutely spot on. Look at the quarterbacks he's produced with. But I'm gonna go deeper than that because, of course, we're saying everyone out there that says we shouldn't pay him such and such, their argument is he's barely a top 10 receiver. He's definitely not a top 5 receiver. And they talk about Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that's fine. I'm not saying Terry McLaurin is better than them. But I'll ask you this. Could any of those guys have produced what Terry McLaurin has produced with the people I'm now going to name off here? Because all of those folks have had talent around them at the skill position. Some of them have had really good quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Some of them have had really good offensive coordinators and head coaches. And some of them have had really good skill position players around them. Mm-hmm. I will submit to you that Terry McLaurin until last year had hardly any of those things. Let's go to his rookie year, 2019. And by the way, let me add this too. Terry McLaurin could have played in 100 regular season games coming in this year. He's played in 97 out of 100. And he hasn't missed a game since 2020. Okay? So durability, 100%. He is durable. If the best ability is availability, he is an A+ on that or close to it. Mm-hmm. 2019, 58 receptions, 919 yards, 7 touchdowns as a rookie, leading receiver. He's got Jay Gruden for a head coach and an offensive coordinator until he's fired. He's got Bill Callahan and Kevin O'Connell. Mm-hmm. These are the quarterbacks who mainly threw him to football. Case Keenum and Dwayne Haskins, RIP. His running backs that he mainly handed off to. Adrian Peterson, a Hall of Famer, but at the end of his career. Darius Geist, remember him. Chris Thompson, remember him.
Mm-hmm.
His best tight end was Jeremy Sprinkle, and his best wide receivers with a whopping 34 catches and 30 catches was Steven Sims and Kelvin Harmon. Remember Kelvin Harmon, folks? That Kelvin Harmon. So that's 2019, okay? 2020, got a new coach, Ron Rivera, got a new offensive coordinator, Scott Turner. 87 catches, 1,118 yards, 4 touchdowns. The only fumble he lost in his career, 2020. There's something else. He doesn't fumble the ball. Only happened one time in his career. Quarterbacks, Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen. Running backs, Antonio Gibson, rookie. J.D. McKissick, remember him? He had 80 catches that year, by the way. Second, Terry McLaurin.
Mm-hmm.
And Peyton Barber, remember him. Logan Thomas, his best year by far, 72 catches. The next highest receiver in terms of catches was Cam Sims with 32, Steven Sims with 27, and the immortal Isaiah Wright with 27 catches. That's 2020, the COVID year. 2021, same coach and OC. Taylor Heineke for nearly the entire season, plus Garrett Gilbert. Gibson, Jarrett Patterson. Remember Jarrett Patterson, local kid? J.D. McKissick, your running backs. Your best tight end, because Logan Thomas was hurt that year, was the immortal Ricky Seals-Jones. Remember, you can pull that one out of there. And your best wide receivers after him was some guy named Adam Humphries, who I think I remember as a Tampa Bay Buck for like 10 seconds. And DeAndre Carter, remember him. So that's 2021. Oh, 1,053 yards, 77 catches, 5 touchdowns. I apologize. I skipped over that. 2022, 77 catches, 1,191 yards, 5 TDs again. Same coach, same OC. Heineke again. Carson Wentz, Sam Howell. Brian Robinson enters the chat. Gibson is still here. Jonathan Williams is your other running back. Curtis Samuel actually produced a little bit. Jahan Dotson at wide receiver. Logan Thomas, your tight end, main guys. So that's 2022. 2023, 79 catches, 1,002 yards, 4 touchdowns. Eric Bieniemy instead of Scott Turner. Hal, Robinson, Gibson, Chris Rodriguez enters the chat. Samuel and Dotson again, Logan Thomas again. So pretty much the same as 2022. 2024, the new regime is finally all the way in. 87 catches, 1,096 yards, 82 catches, 1,096, 13 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, of course, who also had 148 rushes. Robinson, Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, new. Eckler, new. Zach Ertz, of course, we thought he was washed up. He wasn't. And then, of course, at wide receiver, your next highest reception guy was Wole's brother from another mother, Olamide Zaccheaus,
Yep.
and Noah and Diane Brown, who were in the 30s in terms of receptions. Of course, Noah Brown famously catching the Hail Mary pass.
Yep.
I've just read you all those names. It's a lot to take in. But, folks, is anybody as good as, say, and is anybody on that list that's a wide receiver or a tight end good as T. Higgins, good as Jordan Addison, good as Sam Laporta, good as some of these other guys that these great receivers have? Some of the guys that Tyreek Hill's played with Jalen Waddle, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Never mind the guys he played with in Kansas City, including some guy named Travis Kelce.
Patrick Mahomes, though.
Tight ends, running backs. The point is, I defy anybody to tell me that any of those guys that we've just talked about who are top 5 could have produced what Terry McLaurin produced with that motley crew of talent and that motley crew of coaches until this past season.
Yeah.
And,
Right,
if that was just it would be one thing. But the optics of this are terrible because Dan Quinn and Adam Peters, out of their own mouths, have said Terry McLaurin is a culture setter. He is a pillar of this team, this community. He's important to us. We value him. That was last year and this year. And I'm watching Adam Peters give Javon Kinlaw,
there you
who
go.
some people would call a bust, $15 million a year, and you're nickel and diming a guy like Terry McLaurin, who has produced in spite of being surrounded by turkeys for most of his career. He ain't soaring with the Eagles. He doesn't have the Slim Reaper on the other side like A.J. Brown. And he doesn't have, some of the coaches that Jalen Hurts is that AJ Brown has had, and these other guys, and we're nickel and diming him like this. The optics of that are terrible, and you do not want to waste a year where you've got Jaden Daniels on this rookie contract.
Very important.
This is an opportunity that we only get a few more of these before we have to pay Jaden Daniels the 70 or 75 million bucks a year he's going to get. And we're playing this game with a guy that has been a pillar of this community, a pillar of this football team, hardly ever missed a game, never been any trouble off the field, never said nothing, never done nothing wrong until this year in some people's eyes. Didn't even request a trade when we were going through this 4 years ago, and it went right to the line. When the league would have been lining up to get him. That's why I'm angry at Adam Peters. But I'm as angry at the fans that do not give this man his respect and sit here and say, well, he's about to turn 30, so there's no way he's going to be as good as he once was, which I think is balderdash.
All right. So I see some comments. I want to respect folks' comments. So first off, Mike, my guy Mike says, if he goes to another team and get the money, Wole, it'll be a bad team. He's on the best team now, Wole. All right, so let me break this down. So like I don't really. True. It's kind of true, but let me break this down because I can feel like people like that being bad or whatever, indifferent or whatever. My issue, my thought process is: if you're a baller, you're a baller. Being a bad team, good team don't matter because Terry's been on a bad team, put up numbers. As a receiver, which is difficult when like George mentioned the quarterback play. If you have bad quarterback play, it's hard to put up consistent numbers like that. I think Taj mentioned like Garrett Wilson. Well, Garrett Wilson, George just gave you a list of the quarterbacks Washington had to deal with for Terry McLaurin. But Garrett Wilson, regardless of like the win-loss, at the end of the day, he had dudes who could actually throw the football. So Garrett Wilson, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is the same Aaron Rodgers. We had Aaron Rodgers who could still throw the football. He still sucked, but he wasn't the same Aaron Rodgers. He can throw the football. He had Joe Flacco who can throw the football. You know what I mean?
Those two guys are better than anybody.
Exactly. So like
Terry had until
there's levels to it. Like I get you saying, there's levels to quarterback play. Like he's had bad quarterbacks. Don't get it twisted. But but Terry's had dudes who shouldn't are third stringers basically. Like no, like should be third stringers for real talk. So like. Kyle Allen was a third stringer and they made him into a starter. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
I mean, Carson Wentz was a has-been.
I mean, but if you want to use Carson Wentz, you can use that as an example because he used to be a starter, so it's almost like the Joe Flacco approach. So I'm not going to like disrespect it, but we got my man Glen. What's going on, Glen? Glenn's in the building, but I'm not going to disrespect it. But I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna throw like that quarterback list that George ran through, there's no wide receiver other than maybe I would always say this like a DeAndre Hopkins in Houston that can deal with anything like that. Real talk. Like we're gonna really break it down for real. What else? I'm gonna make sure. Like my man top, yeah, my man. Who else? There's so many. So y'all, I'm like, here you go. Giving you like Todd, giving you credit for the stuff you supposed to do. Oh, he never gets in trouble. But all right. Yeah, that too, but you still, yeah, you're right. Giving you credit for that, but being a leader too. All right, let me be real. Like even more than that, y'all saw when he came to camp and how his team responded to him. Like you saw Jaden, and you saw Jaden. You're like Jaden is the golden goose. You saw how Jaden was happy to see him there. You saw how he started Terry chant. So obviously, you know what's so wild about it? You could tell the players believe that he deserves his money. Because if he didn't deserve his money, they wouldn't say anything like that. That's the wild thing about it. Santana Moss came out and told y'all he deserved his money. Santana, who played the position, told y'all he deserved his money. And we don't, I'm going to be real. I'm saying Santana a real dude. He a real dude. He told y'all he deserved his money. But y'all still be like, nah, he don't deserve his money. He too old. I'm just letting y'all know, like, it's wild how it changes when somebody goes away from what you think. Now, I'm with George. If he's asking for something crazy, like I'm cool with 32, whatever. If he's asking for like some Jamar Chase money, I'm like, nah, bro, you geeking. Like I'm with that, and I'm a Terry supporter. But like some of the stuff that folks have been saying is wild to me. It's not
And
a
I want to make one more point before I let
ahead.
Glen in, because I saw somebody in the chat talking about you're paying him for what he's going to do. I know he's turning 30, but again, no serious injury in his career, and he finally has a real quarterback. Why can't his numbers go up even in his 30s? Why couldn't he even be better than he's been? Why is it necessarily that he's not going to produce to the level that he's produced now? He's got a much better team around him than he's ever had. He's got much better coaches around him than he's ever had.
Right.
He's got a quarterback that is the stuff of dreams for most wide receivers. Right. Why couldn't he be better? I say he will be.
Glenn, my bad, bro. You jump into it, bro.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, y'all can hear you.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Cool, man. I'm at camp, brother. So if it gets
I can tell, man.
Let me know, man. Hey, but this is my thing with Terry, right? And this is and Washington can really be petty in this situation, right? Washington can be petty, right? Terry had requested a trade. Washington can deny the trade, make him sit there, get the money he gets this year, and be petty and franchise him next year. And you're 32 years old, and who's gonna pay for it? See, if Washington, if they want, no one's looking at that. Washington could really pay. He's under contract, right? So, and I'm not saying not pay him. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're under contract, right? Do your obligation. Yeah, you want a contract extension? That's cool. Everybody want a raise. Guess what? Everybody in this chat, you still go to work when you want a raise. You still perform. You still do your job. There's no holdouts for us, right? You still go do your job. And I know we can still get. If somebody argue he can get injured on the job, well, I can get injured on the job too, and still want a raise. So go perform, do your job. Here it is. You had Jaden Daniels 1 year, right? He had Jaden Daniels for 1 year. Now, nothing is be consistent. They said that you want to be here. They want you here. Go perform, right? Perform again. Make sure everybody knows it's not a fluke that you're a top 10 receiver. And guess what? We'll work the contract in the middle of the year. We'll work the contract at the beginning of the year. If he gets hurt, he still gets $25 million.
No, it's not that. It's not that. I don't like the contract. This is my thing. Contract talking, like I've said this for football. This is not this situation. Contract talking to NFL is different from any contract you ever done. Like, because it's not a real contract. I know I'm with you, but it's not a real. But I'm saying, like, when you say in any contract is you play out your seat. You're right. In a regular real contract, in the NFL, they can cut you earlier than your contract. So therefore, in the NFL, I don't get to NFL contract being a real thing. But in basketball, you get all your money. In basketball, you get all your money in contract. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but in basketball, you blame the collective bargaining agreement because that's what they negotiated.
No, I agree with that. No, I agree. I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm gonna cut you off.
NFL guys have negotiated that. My thing is this: I want Terry to get paid, right? But I think his agent is doing him wrong. I think he's getting bad advice from bad people. Terry, yes, you had a great year, right? Terry has been Mr. Consistent in Washington. We talked about that. Well, Terry ever since he's been in Washington, he's only had 1 year where he hasn't had under 1,000 yards with his rookie, with all the garbage quarterbacks that he had. That we can even count the year. We can even count the year they forced him with the fourth quarter with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to get 1,000 yards, right? He got that. He is Mr. Consistency. He's a model citizen. This team right here believes that Terry McLaurin is a number one receiver, but they're not trying to give him the top dollar that he wants. We don't know how much he's asking because they've been keeping everything everything quiet, right? Adam Peters been keeping quiet. The Washington Commanders, Terry McLaurin's camp is keeping it quiet. So we really don't know what he's asking. I'm sure Washington has no problem giving him $30 million. The problem is now you had DK Metcalf got money. You have the other, what's the guy that just signed last week?
His deal. His money ain't even high.
Right. Well, not high, but it's affecting what Terry looks at. Terry, if I'm Terry McLaurin, and this ain't no fluke, man, and I know you don't want to get hurt, right? I understand that. Hey, we in good faith with Washington, Adam Peters, this is my number. This is where I want to be at. We need to understand. We need to understand and find out what Terry's asking for. Because he could be asking for something outrageous. That's where I want to hold. But then he asked for a trade. If I'm Washington, okay, I'm not trading you because I don't think we can get what we want for you. Right?
What facts? They're not gonna give.
They're not gonna get. So I'm not trading you. So either you can sit out and we win without you, and I hate to do that because I'm a Commander fan. But let's be honest, it's business, right? If Terry McLaurin leaves this team, somebody else is gonna step up. By week 3, week 4, we're gonna be rooting for somebody else. We're gonna be rooting for them, and Terry and we're rooting for them, cheering for them. And whether it's Jakari Brooks, whether it's Noah Brown, whether it's Luke McCaffrey, I don't care. Somebody else is And my thing is, if we watched Jaden Daniels last year. Jaden Daniels hit 12, 13 different receivers in a football game, right? We understand. Terry scored 13 touchdowns. I get it, right? He scored 13 touchdowns. He had over 1,000 some yards. let's break it down. Some games, Terry might have scored 2 touchdowns and he only had 50 yards receiving. Let's be honest, that's a legit stat, right?
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
legit stat. So again, all we asking somebody to do is make up the 50 yards, make it up 60 yards a game, 70 yards a game, and you can do it by committee. Yes, Terry McLaurin's a big player, but I do not think the Washington Commanders go as far. I don't think the Washington Commanders go as far as Jaden Daniels goes, not Terry McLaurin.
All right, let me jump in because that I disagree with, because I feel like that's now taking away from beating somebody one-on-one. Like, you're now telling me that Noah Brown could slide into Terry and do his stats. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. A Hail Mary play ain't going to cure all that for me. And one play, a couple of like snaps. Like what Terry did against Cincinnati can't be replicated by any other player on this squad. You could say like that's not replaceable. What Terry did in that all right, you could say when Jaden didn't play that Cowboys, when Jaden did play, and then Marcus Mariota came in that game, that Cowboys game when they were trying to play, and Terry made the big catch down the stretch. Jaden was out there throwing the ball. I didn't have it. Like Terry made the play. Terry makes plays. Like at the end of the day, like I'm not saying Jaden's not gonna make certain people better, but I will say this though, and this is the realest thing, period. Why would you want to chance it with a second-year player? Why would you subtract talent from a second-year quarterback? Because I'm gonna be real. Typically, go to the history of all quarterbacks who balled out, like all rookie young quarterbacks who balled out. Look what their organization does for like a second-year quarterback. Do they subtract talent or add talent? Look at all of them, all your dudes that you looked in the past. What did Patrick Mahomes have coming to Kansas City? George, you can answer. What did he have going to Kansas City? He had Sammy Watkins. He had Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. All right. Joe Burrow. What did Joe Burrow have when going into the Bengals? He had T. Higgins as rookie, T. Higgins, and he had Boyd. Then the following year, he had a Jamar Chase. I'm naming all the top quarterbacks. What did Josh?
And by the way, he also had Joe. Yeah, he also had Joe Mixon to hand the ball off to.
All right. So I'm just gonna go quarterback. All right. What did everybody talks about? Let's look at even the division. All right, look what they did. Even though I'm not a big fan of, what did the Eagles do with Hurts? They gave what? AJ Brown. They added the Slim Reaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Look what even the Cowboys did with that. They got Amari. They had Amari Cooper. Then they run the draft CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but no one subtracts talent when you're dealing with a young quarterback. That's not a thing. Period. Like, if we're gonna look at him, the best for the young quarterback, we're talking about how it is. If you want to look at the model of grooming a young quarterback, you're not subtracting talent.
But the team is not subtracting Terry. Terry's subtracting himself.
No.
But the team's not subtracting Terry.
No. I'm just saying, like, what you're doing, like in negotiation. Like, I'm not saying we don't know the deal. We don't know if he's lowballing Terry. I don't know if Terry is asking for a good or he's asking for something too much. All I'm telling you is like when you're dealing with like having a second-year quarterback, right? Because no second-year quarterback, like really, most second-year quarterbacks aren't losing talent. Barring injury, they're not losing talent.
I agree with that. I'm not gonna doubt that. I agree with that. But the thing is this number that Terry wants, and I wish we would knew the number, right? So we have more of a detail. For him to say he wants a trade, that means all talk is bad, right? There's no.
Yeah, it's all bad. Yeah,
it's all bad. They're not close. If he wants a trade, it's not close. He feel like he's being taken advantage of. I question: is that Terry McLaurin, or is that his agent? Because in the chat, I will get there too, Mike, and the rest of you guys that said it. The team did him a favor. They saved him money, right? They show him good faith. Look, we're gonna let you come in, put you on a pup list, so you don't have to lose money. So here it is. We need you to extend a favor. Here's our good grace. We both want a deal. Let's negotiate somehow. Whether it's upfront money, whether it's guaranteed money. That's the question here. Because we all said it, and we said Terry is probably worth $100 million for 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. That's $33 million, whatever the case may be. Yeah. That's what it is. So the team is doing the best they can do for Terry McLaurin. I need Terry McLaurin to reciprocate back to the team. Now, whatever that is, yes, the fans will love to have Terry McLaurin. Jaden Daniels will have to have Terry McLaurin. But one thing I like Dan Quinn and them said when they in the press conference, we're going to, within the confines of this business, We have to work without Terry McLaurin. And so as fans, we got to take the fandom out of it. Man, I think Terry would be great on this team. But if the event that Terry is not here, which I don't think the team's going to trade with Terry, I know New England's been out there all they want, right?
The Chiefs are interested. New England's interested. I just got to report the Chiefs.
But what I think this is though, I think this is a ploy by the agents to try to push Washington to get the number and make the deal. Because right now there's no other receivers out there. If I'm Washington, if I'm trading Terry McLaurin, I better give me a number one receiver back.
You're not getting one receiver back.
Right, but I don't want picks. If I can't get that back, if I think Terry's the one and you think Terry's the one, and the organization thinks Terry's the one, then what we got to do, we got to trade apples to apples, not future picks, right? Because this team doesn't need future picks right now.
Future picks is what you're going to get.
Hey, Timothy, spell my man Glen's name right. It's one N. Y'all be doing that, man.
That's not good, man. If I put my government out there, people think my middle is like Wood, my last name is Wood, but it's all good. But that's what Washington has to work out, man. And I think, truth be told, my heart of hearts, I think Terry McLaurin stays the Washington Commander this year. I think this right here is
look, man. I'm gonna tell folks the real. Like, he ain't getting traded. I'm gonna just keep that in vain. He ain't getting traded. Because it's normal practice. It's just normal practice. Like I said this before. Like this is like to Glen's point. This is the last step. Typically, this is the last step. So when you're not getting your deal, like if you're not close, you say request to trade. So maybe you're thinking like your whole thing is like you're forcing the hand. All right, find somebody who can give me the money. You know what I mean? Like basically what it is, right? But it's the last step. Everybody does it. Let's keep it. Everybody does it. Now it's up to Washington if they really want to go through with it, right? That's what it is. Like Washington has to pull. Like they want to trade them, they'll trade them. If they don't want to trade them, they won't. But it's pretty much more of the play. But look, I don't get into I think my man said it's more. My man Mike says it's more as fans. Truth be told, it's not fans. I'm gonna be real with you. This is why it's not fandom. I'm gonna be real with you. Because I think you all, some of y'all are more whatever the team, because it's not you, Glenn, but I'm saying some of the people in the chat. It's more like we've changed, we got new leadership. So we're in this utopia moment, right? So everything they do is good. Fine. If that's where you're at, that's cool. Where I'm at personally, and I said this at the beginning of the show, period. It's not even about whatever, it's production. And it's production with less. And then when you finally get somebody who's good, you still show consistency. To me, it's all about consistency. It's nothing more, nothing less. If we're talking about if Terry is freaking a guy, all right, I'll use Cortland Sutton. I'll use Cortland Sutton as an example. If Cortland Sutton gave me his best year, which is his final year was his best year, he's only had 2,000-yard season. He's asking for some crazy amount. I wouldn't want Cortland. I would say let him go because there's no consistency. All right, I'll get another one. If anybody who knows me, I am a huge Jerry Jeudy fan. Huge Jerry Jeudy fan. I like Jerry Jeudy more than I like Terry McLaurin. That is a fact. I will not even lie to you. But if Jerry Jeudy was his last year was better than Terry. Jerry Judy's last year with the Browns was better than Terry. If Jerry Jeudy came out and said, I want 30-something million dollars, I would say let him walk. You know why? Because Jerry Jeudy gave me about one great year or 2 great years. So it's not about, for people to take it as a fandom thing. All right, I'll do another one. Because this fan thing is killing me. People think I'm a fan. Now, Terry grew on me. Let this be known. I didn't start up loving Terry McLaurin. He grew on me. So this fan no shit thing, really, if you want to really it's more consistency more than anything else. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's consistency. Because I even said I thought Jahan Dawson would be better than Terry in 3 years. I've said this. I said Jahan Dawson more as a route runner.
Guilty.
Didn't happen. So Terry, again, it's the consistency. It's not about being a fan of Terry. It's really not. I became a fan of Terry because I respect the element of, and maybe because I've because I've coach ball, I put and people have and it's coach ball or whatnot. I appreciate a player that can do a lot with less. That is where it starts with me. There's a reason why I like certain players in basketball. You can work with less and still get high performance. When you can do that, I respect you more than anything. I hate Tom Brady, but I have to admire him because you could give him Susie come lately as wide receivers and he can get you to the Super Bowl in his prime. That is how good Tom Brady is. That's how I assess certain talent. Like, all right, you don't got a real number one. You may have a really good tight end. You don't got a real number one, but you can get a team to the Super Bowl off that alone and will your greatness. I respect that. It ain't nothing to do with like being a fan of Terry or being a super fan of Terry. You know what I mean? Because I can separate two. I can.
And I want to make this point. Oh, sorry.
Vamos read with Mike. Well, we're fans too, but we also understand the business of it. This team has been drama free. The business, like, but you don't know. Like, this is the thing. You don't know the contract he's asking for. You keep saying, folks. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not in the know. We don't know what Peter's like, you're not in the know. But what I'm telling you is, like, when we say, and this is why I always say, like, when folks say, like, I do understand the business. So if you want to say business, okay, this is the thing about business. All right, the market. All right. For instance, prime example. What is the market on quarterbacks? All right. Joe Burrow can now get paid more than Patrick Mahomes, right? How many Super Bowls did Joe Burrow have? How many Patrick Mahomes is arguably the best quarterback in football, right? So why is he getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes? It's the market. Because his contract is it's the market. That's also we're gonna talk business. Because everybody uses that term business. That's what kills like business. Like if I'm like, what is the market? The market was set not like, and to Paul said it earlier, I'm giving credit. Like DK's contract messes up the market. So if you're Terry McLaurin and you think you should get paid more annually more than DK, you have a right to say so because that's the market. That is the market. Like your numbers are comparable to him. Therefore, that is the market. That is a business play. So when people say business, if you look at the player, that is business. You may not agree with the business, but that's also business. That's all I'm saying. So when folks say you're not understanding business, there is a market. Like Glen can look at like, hey, you're at a job and at your job, right? And you do the same thing as somebody else. You may do more, slightly more than this person, right? Then in that position, right? But slightly more, you may at your current job. So you're gonna say, I do slightly more in this current job, but this job does the same thing and it's more. That's the market for it. So now you're gonna say, you know what? My asking price, if you're gonna negotiate with it, like for a new job, you negotiate, that's the market I want. Like I'm in that market. I need that money. That's my market. Because the market is now set there. And I'm talking about in the same area, not like you're in a different state, the same area. It's the market. I'm not saying, look, DK got years. Like he said, like he's younger. I mean, Terry's older. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not saying like you got to go, like Terry has to get a 5-year deal. Like I'm saying it could be 3-2 with the annual 2 years. 3 years. Exactly.
But also,
go ahead, Glen.
Also with your market scenario, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Some teams have overpaid for wide receivers.
I agree with them. I agree.
Which drove up
drives the market up. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
Like, and so some teams have hurt the Terry McLaurin situation based off the deals. This is where Washington hurt themselves. If they knew they wanted to sign Terry McLaurin, they should have signed him before the DK Metcalf deal. Should have signed him before the other deal. And so they wouldn't have to compete with what DJ Metcalf had. So this is where the Washington organization met up at the end of the year. If Terry was all pro, Terry got you where you needed to be.
She didn't do it a year.
That negotiation should have started happening before the draft, so you knew what you was dealing with, you knew what you was playing with, and Terry could have made it plain and clear to an organization. Look, I want a contract extension. Can we negotiate now? I don't want to be a distraction to camp. I don't want to be a distraction to the organization. I know you got to pay. You got to pay Jaden Daniels a couple of years. I know you got Larry Tunsil. That's when the conversation really could have sparked up. When Larry Tunsil came in, when Deebo Samuels came in, when those guys came in, Terry should have sparked it up and said, you know what? At this time, let's work. Let's try to do our best to get this deal done before now. Because guess what? This has brought more attention to the Washington Commanders, and we're not talking about how people look good people look in camp. We're not talking about Jaden Daniels' sophomore season. We're not talking about the running backs who are climbing up and escalating up the ranks. We're talking about Terry McLaurin in his contract instead of talking about the team. And this is Washington. Last year, this team was successful because there was no distractions. There was no distractions on this team, and this team has distractions now, and it may not be good for AP. It's gonna. I mean, even on here, it's dividing the fan base, right? So let's be honest, dividing the fan base. This is not good for anybody involved. Let's get the job done. Let's get the deal done so we can go back to football.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like, now you're right, Glenn. You're right with that, Glenn. I'm not arguing. I'm reading some of these comments. Todd, you talking about Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, I think he's talking about Deshaun Watson. He's right about that. I mean,
he's right about it. But
Kirk Cousins and Deshaun Watson, fully guaranteed deals are out for the most part.
But that's like guaranteed deals. Like guaranteed deals are kind of different. But that's a different argument, a discussion within that.
No, but he is right. The market.
No, he's right. No, he's right.
They have it with quarterbacks.
Yeah, but quarterbacks.
But it has in other places.
Yeah, that's a crazy number though, too. To be honest, and that was a crazy number too. And I would make this argument too that Watson's changed because of lack of availability in his play. That's just what it is. Let me add that in.
I just want to go.
Go ahead.
I want to go back to what some folks are saying about, and actually keep putting comments up there while I say this. Just want to make this point about the optics again. The message you're sending is that you really don't value the leadership that he's brought, the consistency of production with players that were much worse than him. George, he's missed no games the last 4 years. So ankle injuries, what ankle injuries?
Yeah.
And Glenn, you're right about being petty and about the whole contract. They can tag him next year. What kind of message do you think that sends to potential free agents that Washington's going to want to bring in? What kind of message does that send to this locker room if you're thinking about doing something like that? I mean, Adam Peters has got to read the room here, and I don't think he's reading the room very well, to be perfectly honest. Granted, again, I say that not having any idea what he's offered. Like if he's offered $30 million, then he's been more reasonable than I thought. And maybe, this isn't his fault, it's Terry's. But if he's offering less than that, then I don't think he's being reasonable at all. And you've got to get through this because there's a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. And there's a chance to win a Super Bowl the next few years. And then it's going to get a lot more difficult. Even though we've got this great quarterback, because we're going to have to pay this great quarterback. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit frustrated here, because you can be Adam Peters and say, this is a business. This is the number I've got for you. And I'm not going over that. But this is also a unique situation.
But you play through that, though.
You're not going to have a player like this again. This is a player that is from the last regime, who produced through all that and has now come out the other side. Every player after this that he's going to be negotiating with are going to be people that's been brought in since the new regime's been here. So he's not going to have somebody like this. Terry McLaurin, in that regard, is unique. He is the last really great player from the Dan Snyder era that's going to get paid. Don't talk about Quan Martin. Quan Martin's not even in the same galaxy as Terry McLaurin as a player right now.
Yeah, right now.
So that's where Adam Peters, I think, is not reading. I think he's not reading the room. I think he's getting the optics wrong right now. And it's like you're not sending the right message. And look, the locker room may band together and be together on this because they like Terry, but you don't want management and the locker room opposed to each other, because that's going to be bad down the line.
I gotta discuss this. I gotta ask this question. Let's answer this question. All right. George, this is the thing, George. Terry could be number one in a lot of teams. You know why? Because he checks the boxes. Because I'm gonna say this again, and I really want people to understand this. Like, if you could put up numbers with bad quarterback, I'm being real. If you can put up numbers with bad quarterback play, you're number one, regardless of how you want to call it. Like, if you don't have a Josh Allen in the world, you don't got Lamar, you don't have an elite offensive firepower around you, and you can still put up 100, you can still put up 1,000 yards. You're number one. Number twos don't do that, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, the notion that people keep saying, "On what team could Terry be a number one?" Like, dude, All you need, Terry already showed you he can give you 1,000 yards receiving yardage without having an elite quarterback or an average quarterback. Like, for real. Like, I'm gonna say this: your favorite quarterbacks that you speak of, they all have dudes. Like, they all have dudes. Think about it. Do the list. Go through all the quarterbacks. There's only about, I said this, DeAndre Hopkins is like one of few. It's like one of them dudes that can dominate the game without a good quarterback. When Justin Jefferson had Joshua Dobbs, he wasn't looking like Justin Jefferson, and I don't blame him. He wasn't as dominant. He was still good. He just wasn't as dominant. When you have bad quarterback play and you can still bring an imprint in the game, you can be a number one anywhere, bro. You telling me with him and Pat Mahomes, you don't think he's putting up number one stats? He can do it with Taylor Heineke, but he can't do it with Patrick Mahomes. He can do it with Kyle Allen, but he can't do it with Patrick Mahomes. So like that, I'll tell you, he'll be a number one on multiple teams, bro. Multiple teams. That's not even a discussion. Now, you may not like the way he does it. That's possible. Like, to me, my thing about Terry, he ain't all hands type dude. He's gotten better, but he ain't all hands type dude. My preference is a hands dude. But I can't deny the production. I won't do that to him. Like, I won't do that. Like, but I could say he could be a number one on multiple teams. That's an easy question to answer. But again, like, George is not, I'm gonna say this, George ain't being like, I think somebody said, my man Mike said George is being a fan. Like, I'm gonna be real. It goes two ways with it. It's either you fool with Terry or you don't. Like, for certain fans, if you feel like, some of you may think like how I used to think about Terry. And it's fair. Like, you may think that he ain't one of them. And that's cool. And that's what, but it's not about being, but if you believe he one of them, then you're going to ride with what your thought process of him is. I can tell some of y'all just like aren't that thorough of a believer in Terry. You feel like he can be replaced. Basically, that's how I'm gauging it. And that's cool. I'm telling you, my thought where I'm at is I'm about consistency and production. And if Terry was pulling numbers like this with Pat Mahomes, I'd be like, all right, man, it's Pat Mahomes. Everybody put up numbers, Pat Mahomes. Like, he got Pat Mahomes as a quarterback. But because he can put up numbers with so-so quarterbacks, and then you give him a dude, you finally give him a dude and you see what numbers he put up. But it wasn't like he wasn't putting up numbers before. He put up numbers before with non-dudes. You give him a dude, now he can give you touchdowns with them numbers. He can get you to 13, the double-digit touchdowns now, because he got a dude who can give him the ball where he needs to get the ball. But he's always gave you numbers. Dog, he was beating dudes like Slay with no quarterback play. Slay is one of the better cornerbacks in football. He beating dudes like Slay with no quarterback play. Come on, man.
Could you put up? Timothy had a comment that I'd like to respond to.
What?
The one about why we got to the NFC Championship game, because
which one? Here?
About we got to the end. Timothy, it's both, and here's why it's both. Jaden Daniels, undeniable what he did last year. Would Jaden Daniels have been good if he didn't have Terry McLaurin? Do any of our other wide receivers, tight ends, make that catch against Cincinnati on Monday night? No. Do any of our other wide receivers, tight ends, make that play against Dallas, or the play in the playoffs against Detroit? Or heck, the catch in Dallas at the end, even though it technically didn't matter because Green Bay missed the kick right at the same time as that's happening. I mean, yes, we're not getting the NFC Championship game without Jaden Daniels. I'm not sure we're getting there either without Terry McLaurin. And again, the point is, and other chatters are right, we don't know what Terry's asking for, and we don't know what's been offered. But again, nickel and diming Terry McLaurin, if that is indeed what's happening with some of the other contracts we've been seeing given out, like the Javon Kinlaw one, that is a problem, in my opinion. And the last guy makes the point, Mahomes has an elite defense. He does now. He didn't at the start of his career. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, good defense.
Remember, that second year they got to the AFC Championship game and lost, that defensive coordinator got fired.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That defense was terrible, and they brought in Spagnuolo, and then it changed.
Yeah.
So Mahomes hadn't had that elite defense either. By the way, we didn't have an elite defense last year.
Yo, De'Ami had a good Mike spell his name right, man. De'Ami had a great game. Man.
He
That's my
did,
guy,
he did,
De'Ami.
Michael.
I know I love
There's no
De'Ami.
question about it.
I know I
But
love De'Ami.
the point is, there are plays that were absolutely crucial to this season and the success of this season
You know
that
what?
none of our other guys could have made.
You know what?
Not a one of them.
You know what? To your point, George. You know what? If we're gonna do this, Terry didn't they threw him a screen pass in that Detroit game, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
So what do you do? What do you do
And
with
he
that
made a
play?
house call.
All right,
He did a
the
house
Eagle.
call.
All right, that's basic stuff, right? All right, the play against the Eagles, right? In the NFC Championship game, he caught a slant pass and did what with it?
And he took it to the house.
Okay, that's just who knows? Anybody did that, right?
Yeah.
Anybody could do that.
I think
And-
I think what people are saying is this.
And I mean, Timothy's
No, let
right about
Glenn.
how
I think
important
let
JD is.
but I will let Glenn go because Glenn has
Okay.
Glenn, go ahead.
Go,
Glenn.
Glenn.
But I think what people are saying is this, that Terry is impactful to this team. I think to go back to the comment, I think the comment is last year. I think Washington needed all hands. I think last year Washington needed all hands on deck. Right? It was a team effort. Washington last year as an organization needed everybody to be all hands on deck.
Yeah.
So Terry did contribute to getting into the Washington NFC Championship game.
Facts.
He was a vital point. All right. So same was the running back. Same was Dehami Brown, who had a great second half of the season.
Yeah,
right?
sure did. Facts,
So,
bro.
so this guy stepped up. Same was Austin Eckler when he came back. So again, same as Zach Ertz, right? Because we can say Zach Ertz. We can say
Oh
James.
man, he was big. Zach Ertz is big, bro.
Amadeus Zaccheaus, right? Amadeus Zaccheaus had a great second half, right?
Yeah, he has
Let's
to
be
get
honest.
some plays.
Hold on.
You're right. No, go ahead.
Hold on. I got to say this because he had made some plays to the point that you had to come on live stream. You had to go one.
Facts, I did.
You had to go one stream, right? You had to go.
I did one full box.
Full box on the Amadeus Zaccheaus, right? James Crowder came in. So again, they are receivers, but I do believe that receiver core feeds off Terry McLaurin, right? I believe they do feed off his energy. But what I'm saying is this: if this team has to go without Terry McLaurin, I believe this team can still be successful. Now, what is success for this team?
What is success? Yeah, what is success?
We have to figure out what success is for this organization who was in the NFC Championship. And let's be honest, it is not given that you get back there. It is hard. It is hard to get back to the NFC Championship game, right? It is difficult. So, but you would love to have all your weapons to get there. I think, once again, Washington can have all their weapons to get there, but I think what they're preparing for is the event that they don't have it. I think with this ploy, they get it done. So when we say Terry, we don't get there without Terry, I can't agree with that statement because, again, we watched this team. It was a team effort for this organization to even get to them. Because I watched it again this week. I watched quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
I watched quarterbacks on Netflix.
Is that good? Is that good?
It was pretty decent. I'm gonna tell you the reason I watched it because the teams that were there, I knew Washington beat, so I knew they were going to.
I like that.
I did. We knew that Washington. I knew they were going to show Washington versus Cincinnati, right? We knew they were going to show Washington versus Atlanta. When Kirk Cousins got benched, we got that. We knew they were going to show Detroit getting blasted and put out because of Washington. So here it is. But again, the Detroit game, it was because of turnovers. Washington caused turnovers and was able to capitalize on Detroit, right? Terry had some do it, but defense is scored there. So again, it becomes, when I say this is a team effort, for everybody in this team organization. Wow. I want the deal to get done, right? We all want the deal to get done. We want it to get done right, but we also want Terry McLaurin to come to realization. If he's asking for more, then some of the guys that are perceived to be higher than him, let's bring that number back down. I hope he's just asking for more guaranteed money. And I'm not mad. I tell you, I'm not mad at guaranteed money because any given Sunday, as Wole said it, your season can be over. Your career be done. Your career can be done. I
want to say, Mike, you talking about somebody? Mike, what's going on? I don't know. You saying somebody said erase your who's erasing your comments?
No, I ain't erasing
my opinion. No, I said I'm on here to give my opinion, not to be told to erase. Who told you to erase?
No, you ain't got to erase nothing. We didn't say erase.
Oh, I ain't. If you talking about me, I'm not telling you to erase anything, Mike. I hope you ain't. Yeah, I hope you ain't think I said that.
Freedom of speech, man. Y'all got
bro. Oh yeah, definitely, bro.
We just talking opinions, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, Mike. You know you my guy.
Yeah,
Don't ever get
we
twisted.
definitely want to hear opinions, even ones we disagree with.
Oh, I just can't. If Mike, I ain't gonna lie. I just may have missed it. The chat kind of booming, bro. I got you though. He said Glenn, the only one making reality at the sense of sense. No, he's only one. No, see, this is the thing. This is what I don't like about like today's society. Glenn's good. Glenn, no, I'm being real. If you don't agree with somebody, the other side ain't making sense. You know, that's like politics, right? Like, it's either one way or the other. It ain't never in the middle. You know what I'm saying, Glenn? It ain't never in the middle.
It's in the middle, right? Because y'all making sense to some of the points. Because Terry is, like you said, you gotta have a good receiver. If Terry, think about it. Terry had those receivers.
I want to kind of touch on what you're saying in this regard, because Wole brought it up earlier. He was talking about Tom Brady and how Tom Brady in his prime was getting to the championship games and Super Bowls, and he had, and some of these wide receivers he had were clowns.
Yeah.
Everybody remember that championship game against the Colts that they lost when all his receivers did was drop the ball for 4 quarters? He had clowns in that group, and he only had a really good tight end. Jaden Daniels might be another Tom Brady, but do we really want to ask him to do that in year 2 when he's still developing? Because if this team does not have Terry McLaurin, and you look at that person, and you look at that personnel group, you're counting on Deebo Samuel, who's hurt last year. You're counting on Zach Ertz, who's at the end of his career, and you may be counting on Jalen Lane, who's a 4th-round draft choice and a rookie. Because the rest of these receivers, okay, whatever. You know, we're counting on, and the running back crew is going to have to do a hell of a lot better than what they did, because when I was going through the list of players that McLaurin was playing with, who had the second most carries running the football last year was Jaden Daniels. Mm-hmm. So I just ask folks, do you want to force Jaden Daniels to do it? Because he might be that great that he could be up to doing something like that. I just would rather not have to put him in that position. Because he's still a developing quarterback.
Yeah.
And the idea needs to be, it goes right back to what Wole said. When you find out that you got a quarterback like that as a rookie or as a second-year player, you start saying, all right, we're going to give you the weaponry. We're going to help you. We're going to add talent. And they've done it on the offensive line. And they need to do it and they've done it at receiver, getting Deebo Samuel. But if you take Terry McLaurin out of that equation, you've hurt a lot of the progress that you made.
This is what I'm saying.
I just,
this is the thing.
And again,
go ahead,
I want to. They've got a chance to win a championship this year, and I feel like something like this could absolutely submarine it all.
I want to say to George I want to respond to this from George.
Okay.
This is my thing, man. This is like my problem about sports in general, right? Sometimes we give one person too much of the credit of everything. Like, this is the problem I have in sports in general. Because at the end of the day, Glenn, you coach football, it's a team game, right? So everything has to go. It's a team game. So everybody has to make plays. Like, Terry made big plays just like Jayden did last year. Now, Jayden made a lot of big plays. Don't get it twisted. But to say he carried you gotta, like, there are games I feel like Jayden definitely carried. Don't get it twisted. There are games I think Jayden carried. But there are also games that was a team game. Like, there was also games where, I think the defense is trash. The defense made some plays. And Glen would say that in the beginning of the season, like, they got this turnover. They did this, they did that. And even though I used to trash the defense, defense made plays. Like, for instance, when he's not here, when Dante Fowler got that pick six, that pick six, when he took it to the house, that house call, he made plays, right? He made a big play. So, like, I don't ever want to give like one particular player throughout and say one player carried the team throughout the whole thing. Having a quarterback helped us, like having a dude gave us the advantage, hands down. You won't hear me say, like, won't take that away from anybody. But I've never, like Tom Brady is, man, how many, Tom Brady got a boatload of Super Bowls. Everybody gives Tom Brady all the credit, right? But that defense was good. Patrick Mahomes gets all the credit. But to a lot of people, it's like they mentioned it here, the defense in the Super Bowls balled out. And some of those Super Bowls they won, they balled out because Pat Mahomes started slow. It's always a team game. So let me start it there before people said, hey, he carried the whole team. So back to George's point, when I'm going to say this again. Why would you just because it's one season, it's one season. It's the same, all right, it's the same thing where We have quarterbacks who had second years that weren't like the first year. We've seen that in the NFL. We've seen it. Not to say it was a horrible season, but it wasn't the same as the first season. You know what I mean? Like people came out and said CJ Stroud was having a sophomore slump, but he still took the team to the postseason. But it wasn't the same impact as his first year, right? It wasn't the same impact. But you know he's going to be
Stroud was failed by his surroundings. That's what I'll say.
No, he was though, right? No, George, say it again. He was failed by what?
He was failed by his surroundings.
Okay, and you know what? And I totally agree with you with that. He had some injuries too, right? So he lost. So the reason why his stats weren't the same is why he lost talent, right? He lost talent. Like he fell by because
that's right.
Nico was out for most of the season. He came back at the end. Nico was out for most of the season.
And then the other kid who gets no luck.
Got hurt again.
The other receiver was really good.
Yeah, Diggs was hurt. Diggs was hurt.
Yeah, him too.
So what happened? He didn't have a great second. His quote unquote his second year wasn't as good as his first year, right? So because in essence, because injuries, he subtracted talent. Right? So that's what I'm saying. We could say, man, he's going to actually, man, I have more trust. People said that about CJ. And then beginning to see they were hating on CJ. I'm just saying, like, because obviously it hurts not having talent around you. So you know what I'm saying? So when people say, like, but they obviously, if CJ was so good, you think you can plug in anybody, right? Because he was so good, people thought you can just plug in anybody. You can plug in anybody and have CJ still ball out. He will still be like, can be some of the powerhouses in the NFL because he's CJ Stroud. That's all I'm saying. Like, why, to George's point, why risk it when you have a guy that you know can be is a number one? You know is a number one. Why risk it? Why risk? Because at the end of the day, what's the most important thing in the situation, right? It's Jaden's progression. That's the most important thing. I don't care what anybody. That's the most important thing is Jaden's progression. Period. So I want Jaden putting up numbers, building on anything every season. That's what I want. You know what I mean? There's a reason why, like, say it again, like, there's a reason why I wanted Zach Ertz to be resigned. Because he helps Jaden's progression. See, I'm consistent. Like, that's the thing. I'm consistent. What I want is for Jaden. I want Jaden to have, like, I was happy, like, all right, Jaden Debo, like, I was like, Terry Debo, it's going to help out Jaden. That's what Jeremy Tunsil is going to help out Jaden. When people were like, man, we're just going to outscore people, I was like, you know what, that's fine. Still helps out Jaden. like all it is about Jaden. That's my thought process. When people say, oh man, you're being a fan and this, that, and the other, my thought process is it all helps Jaden. It puts Jaden at the best position to be successful. That's it. That's my argument. When people say, well, you know, we'll need Terry, whatever, I'm like, all right. And in all essence, it's not going to make life easier for Jaden. You're going to tell me Noah Brown? Okay, man. Noah Brown gets hurt every year. It's a fact. Now you're going to say Lane, you want to now rely on a rookie, Lane? Rely on a rookie, Lane. You're going to rely on a rookie who's not proven. You're going to rely on Luke McCaffrey? Go for it. You know what I mean? Go for it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, come on, Michael. Terry, my man Mike has a question for me. Let me read this from Paul. Everyone is making good points, but the truth is Terry isn't Adam's guy. I like this one. And Adam has a certain number he thinks Terry is worth. The philosophy is getting something for him that don't let him just walk. I like this. I do like that. He may not be. That's a good one. That's a good point. That is a very good point. And he may not be. That's fine, man. If Adams thinks he could go, he's not my guy. He wants Brandon Ayuk. Go for Brandon Ayuk, bro. Question: well, like Terry wasn't getting the touches at the first, and why was that? Oh, that's easy because all right. So that's a good question. I said this already. If y'all come on, Mike, you've been on the show, bro. Come on, man. You know what happened. Like, because there was write-ups, and I said this about a lot of people. Terry was open. I've said this. There's footage. Like Terry's open, but like when you're a young quarterback who is mobile, what do you trust more than your eyes? Because I've said this. I said Jaden got better as a passer as the year went on. Jaden started trusting his eyes and letting the ball rip. I said this last year. What it was is Jaden was like, tight window. I'm cool. I'll go. And which is fine. I prefer a quarterback who's going to use his legs rather than just like making those type of throws. I prefer that because Jaden is safe with the ball. I like him. I like that he's safe with the ball. Mm-hmm. That's my preference. I said that during the season. You come on, Mike. You know this. Like, so I'm not going like, yeah. So it started that Cincinnati game where he started trusting Terry more, and Terry made plays. From that point on, you saw the progression of Jaden. Jaden, I said this. Jaden as a passer got better towards the second half of the season. I said this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. Jaden did get better second half of the season. He felt more comfortable. Him and the chemistry.
And Jaden was spreading the ball around anyway. Jaden was always going to be spreading the ball around. He wasn't going to give Terry McLaurin, CD Lamb level targets. Maybe one day, but it wasn't going to happen last year.
Well, because of who he was and who the offensive coordinator is, too. You got to realize who the offensive coordinator is. And there are things Jaden has always taken care of the ball. If you watch Jaden's career, he's not going to take too many chances, right, with the football. His completion ratio high, so he's going to be conservative in a sense, right? And that's why he ran a lot last year. He's going to be conservative. And let's be honest. Washington was in a lot of close games, and Jaden did not want to be the guy to lose the game for Washington.
Yeah,
there was a lot of close games. He didn't want to be that guy. And there were some times he took chances. And let's be honest, to pass to Terry in Cincinnati, Terry bailed Jaden out. Terry caught a good ball. Jaden let one rip, and Terry caught a good ball. So, again, there have been guys that make Jaden as successful as well. And I think Terry is one of those guys. They have to be able to negotiate. What they need is Mama Vic. They need Mama Vic to come. Not Mama Vic. They need Mama Jackson to come in there and negotiate.
She gonna work it.
Like she did Lamar. Right, like she did Lamar's deal, but Terry need this. My question to you guys in the chat, right? Go ahead. The question I have for the chat, George, and I'll let you go. The question I have for people in the chat is this: if Terry McLaurin does leave the Washington Commanders, all right, and does not have the numbers that he had in Washington, what are your thoughts then? And I ask you guys the panel too. If he leaves Washington and his numbers excel, what are we thinking?
I mean, I know
on the situation.
Yeah, I think though, for real, to me, like I feel like obviously if he doesn't do well, like folks have credence to it. That's a fact. I'm not one to like even act different, but I will say this: if we talk about body of work and pattern, he's more inclined to still be him because he's had bad quarterback. He's played in bad situations. Like, it would be more of a question, to be real with you, if you coming from a good situation, like if you've been in good situations and you put up numbers, and then you go to a bad situation, then I'm like, all right, you only did well because you played you played in a good situation. Now, if you've already been baptized you've been in bad situations and put up good numbers, chances are you're still gonna put up good numbers. That ain't gonna change because you've been, dude. Look, man. Anytime you playing with third stringers and you still can put up numbers, that let me know already, bro. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna mention his name. Anytime you can put up numbers with Scott Turner as your offensive coordinator, bro, like you all right, bro.
Hey, that's what you can't. That's what you can't say it 2,000 times.
Come on, what we doing here, bro? Like, I'm not you, man. Like I'm saying, like you putting up numbers. You don't got Kyle Shanahan in the building, bro. Like, think about it, like.
And not just Scott Turner, but Taylor Heineke and his moon balls.
Yeah.
And his freaking hospital balls.
Hey, Heineke got Terry killed.
Yeah. Or real talk, like you put him down for Airbnb. Like Airbnb wasn't. Come on, I mean, what are we doing? Like, and I rooted for Airbnb, but it was what it was. Like, it was what it was. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, when we trying to act like you saying that, like, I feel like. If he playing, like this is what I would say. If Terry's playing in, like, the Niners are interested in him, I'm looking at this, like the Niners are interested in him. They said the Chiefs are interested in him. If he's playing with Kyle, he's putting up numbers, bro. I'm sorry. Kyle just does it. Kyle gets it. Kyle schemes you open. I know that quarterback ain't whatever, but Kyle schemes you open. That's what Kyle does. You playing with Pat? He playing with Pat Mahomes? Come on, bro. Really? We're gonna really just doubt that? Like, you put up numbers with Kyle Allen. Like, You can't pull numbers with Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid.
You think Drake May ain't beating down the door in New England
Man,
saying get Terry
what?
McLaurin?
If Drake, look, man, Drake, I'm gonna give Drake May his flowers. You saw what Drake May had to work with, and he was still getting the ball to some of them dudes.
That's
you
right.
Terry McLaurin, you don't think he ain't putting up numbers,
Hey,
bro?
Terry and Stephon Diggs would be scary in New England.
There you
Like, that'd be
go.
funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like and there you go. That's so. I'm just saying, like, so to me, in those situations, he could put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? In those situations, but he's already been like to me again. He's been tested where he's had bad quarterback play. He can put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a thing to me. That's not being a fan. That's actually he already showed me that. He showed me that. I would be more concerned if he put up good numbers with a good quarterback because he had good quarterback play all his life, then went to a bad situation, didn't have a good quarterback. Then I'd be more inclined to say that. Let's see now how you play when you don't have Jaden. Or like you never had a Jaden. Like he's put up numbers before Jaden. So to be real with you, so that's how I would look at it personally. I'm trying to look at these like George, Glen. Anybody answered your question? I'm trying to look at if they have. Oh, here you go, Paul. If he traded, if Terry is traded, he is going to a bad team, so his numbers are going to be good. Not really. See, that's the thing. That's the misconception of things. Because I keep using this as an example. Randy Moss went to the Oakland Raiders. His numbers weren't damn near any close to any of his numbers in Minnesota and in New England. Why is that, you say? Why is that? Because they sucked. And they had to double Randy Moss everywhere. So Randy Moss, and Kerry Collins wasn't that good at the time. So I'm gonna be real with you. It's easier for Randy. It's easier for Terry. It's obvious. Like he needs for him to put up like the best chance for him to put up numbers is to be around a good quarterback. That is it. Bad team don't mean nothing. You need a dude who can spin it. That's what it is. Like that's keep it a bean. If your dude can spin it, you're okay. If he can't spin it, like if Terry, I ain't gonna lie, Terry had to play with like a Joshua Dobbs, I would feel bad for him though. I ain't gonna lie. That's the one dude I don't know if he can play with. Because that dude can't throw the football to me. But Terry has shown us that he can put up numbers with anybody. George says, please will eventually come to his senses. Yeah, I think so too, George. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm with you too. Joe said, I think more realistically, we trade Terry for picks, a rotation player, a role who we got this year, and draft another young wide receiver early in next year's draft. Actually, the best draft is a couple years from now, to be honest with you. That kid from Ohio State and Alabama. Yeah, I would take those two over Terry, though. See how real I am, though? See how I did that? I like those two more than I like Terry. See, that's not me being a fan. That's just me liking talent. Now, if Arizona wants to get rid of Marvin Harrison Jr. and give me him instead of Terry, I'll take Marvin over Terry. Again, look at me. Not fanboy. Not a fanboy. Mike, not a fanboy. Just let you know, bro. Aldo said at this point, only a few teams would trade the number one, so Ayuk don't look too bad of a penalty.
Ayuk's coming off a major injury, though.
Ayuk's coming off an ACL injury, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no look. I ain't gonna lie to you. I told you I like Terry. There's no way Tyreek Hill. There is no way.
No.
If I'm Miami, I am not trading no Tyreek Hill for no Terry McLaurin.
Hey, look, I'd rather take a 30-year-old than a person coming off an ACL series.
Somebody on Twitter that I used to work for just made that suggestion to Tyreek to Terry for Terry.
I like Terry, but I am not trading no Tyreek Hill for Terry. Like I am not. Miami would be the dumbest trade for Miami.
It would be dumb for Miami.
Dumb for Miami. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I wouldn't take a kid coming off an ACL.
He's consistent. I said Terry can put up numbers with anybody. Like he's showing me. That's what I'm saying. We talking about Paul. What did I say? I said Terry could put up. Terry is consistent. He put us up numbers with anybody. I'm just saying Terry would be more. It'd be easier for Terry to put up big numbers with a star quarterback than a bad quarterback. But he will still put up numbers with a bad quarterback. He's shown that. That's my point. Yeah, he has played. Yeah, I know. I agree. I just say he can put up numbers with whoever. That's all. I guess we're saying the same thing. I guess we're saying the same thing. Let's see. George, I'm trying to read all these comments. George said, "Would you give Terry a 2-year extension, 75, 65 mil guaranteed?"
I mean, he'd take it. I
would give him a
certainly
70.
consider it, but I don't think he'd take it.
Yeah, I would personally. I mean, 75, 65 guaranteed. 75. 2 years. What? 2 years. 75 is what? So that's what? 30. What?
37 and a half. That would be Jefferson money for 2 years.
Oh, that's too good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I mean, if he's only going to do a 2-year extension,
hey, George,
that would change things. I think you got to go to 3 to get a deal done. That's
George,
just me.
Say, George. See, I'm trying to tell you, I got limits too. That's too good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not putting you in that number. No. I think 33 is good. Whatever 33 annually is good. I'm not giving him anything. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, Mike. You don't gotta agree with me, bro. I still love you, dude. I still love you. You don't gotta agree with me, bro.
You're still
know
part
what?
of our family
at the end of the day,
here.
at the end of the day, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I end up being right, I'm gonna be like I told you so. And I probably will be more right than you. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
So is the why you petty just like the Washington Commanders. That's why I'm paying too.
Ooh, DJ Moore. I like. You know what? I like DJ Moore too, bro. I would do DJ Moore for Terry. I ain't gonna lie. I like DJ Moore. I think I would. I can do DJ Moore for Terry. I can do that.
But we know Chicago's not making that deal.
Yeah, I can do that though. I can do that. See how I think. Yeah.
The thing is, Terry McLaurin's more valuable to us than he is to other people.
Yeah,
and that's part of this.
Terry can go for Marvin Harris. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Me too, bro. I can see. Look, Tyreek has the AB trade. No thanks. All right, I know a lot. I mean, he do got some weird traits.
Hold on. George said something that was key there, right?
Yeah.
And we just
Did I miss something?
Yeah, you missed it. The Washington Commanders, and Lake said this all the time. In our land, Terry is more valuable as a Washington Commanders than other teams, right?
Yeah.
Than the other teams. How much is other teams willing to pay Terry McLaurin? Terry want to go trust the trade. Are other teams willing to pay Terry McLaurin that type of money?
When you asking, like, I'm gonna lie to you. They know what time. If you're asking for, if you're calling in for a trade, then you're willing to discuss Turkey because it's already popped up on the feeds, bro. Like these teams, there's already popped in.
But it goes back to what you said. You're driving up the market.
Yeah, the market's the market though. The market is the market. It's unfortunate. They know what the market is. It's like, all right, it's to your point. It's like they know who they got at quarterback. A lot of these teams, the teams that are being linked to Terry are teams that are trying to
win now.
Yeah. So they're going to pay what they need to pay because they want to win now. So that's their market. They got their market the way they want. I'm saying, like, that's my opinion. Like, and I could be wrong. But I'm saying, like, their team, the teams that are named in this, are some of these on this stuff in terms of reporters are teams that are aiming for a bowl.
He'll end up at Buffalo if he goes.
That's a good one too. I'm just saying that's a good one too. I'm just saying, like, 37. Yeah, thank you. I think 37 is too much for me. I ain't gonna lie. And I like Terry. A 2-year contract, in my opinion. I'm not mad at that. It's got to be a certain amount. I ain't mad at that either. Actually, Mike, we can agree. I ain't mad at a 2-year extension. Then you giving the Bears too much? What you mean?
Credit, but not trading DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore, but I don't think they would. You got Caleb. We not said not to get rid of DJ Moore for you, the Bears, because you have a young Caleb Williams, right? You have a young Caleb Williams who needs receivers, who needs weapons. You just brought in a new offensive court. You brought in a new offensive coordinator. I mean, you got a new head coach. Sorry, got a new head coach. So you're not getting rid of any pieces if you're the new head coach in Chicago.
Hey Mike, I can tell you a Terry hater, so it's all good, bro. But I still got love for you though.
I mean, it's not as if I'm not backing this up with hard data.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of the stuff I'm saying is hard data.
Nice.
Who he played with, what he's produced.
Yeah,
and where we've come from and how important he was to the team last year.
I do want to add this, dude, George. Like, you know what? That's the thing. I think that should be stated. Anything. This is the thing. I think we forget this in life, and it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Just like anything, if you present a point and you have facts with your point, then it's cool. You have facts with your point. It's like when you write an essay to prove your argument. What do? You
present facts.
Exactly. So when you propose factual statements to everything, then it's fine. It's not a fanboy thing. Now, Mike, I would like to say, what are your facts to why Terry doesn't deserve the money? Is it age? Is it production? Because if that's what you're saying, production, then like the counter is what George put out there. That's the counter argument to whatever you're saying. I'm not saying like if that's your point, you got a valid point with your, if you're gonna say the overall, the numbers, but again, the numbers are 1,000 yards every year. You know what I'm saying? That's the market. That's what it is. But you're like what pretty much what you're saying, and I'm not like you're going off Terry's asking for too much or the money's too high. But you don't have a fact in that point. You say business beer. What is business? What is business? Define business. Because that's just a point blank statement. Define business. Because that's more on your like what your opinion of it is. You know what I'm saying? Like George is giving you, like when he gives you numbers, it's the numbers of why he believes this is that. You're saying business. That's just a statement. It's business. All right, what element of business are you referring to? What's the business? Is the business his asking price is too high? It's too high compared to who? That's what I always say. When folks say it's too high, compared to who? Or what is the asking price? You don't know the asking price. Therefore, that statement is already it's opinionated. It's already opinionated. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. NFL not too long. Those are all just statements. They're not based on facts. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So when you say like George is being a fanboy, it's not a fact. It's he's presenting an argument. Truth be told, and he's basing it off facts. Now, obviously, it's swayed to his opinion, and that's cool, right? But it's still based off facts. When you say it's business or it's this, that's just a statement without anything to support it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, real quick,
George Sanil had an interesting comment about the IU extension. And that's a good point, George. But where I would disagree again there is Ayuk's had injury issues even before that injury, and I laid it out for you. He's only missed 3 games out of a potential 100 he could have played in the regular season. Only missed 3, and he hadn't missed one for 4 years. So, I mean, I can understand why that'd be in the back of his mind. Terry McLaurin has proved a lot more durable than most people, and that's playing at FedEx Field, which has been, until last year, was a house of horror for injuries. All the quarterbacks that have gotten hurt, especially in that one end of the field, and yet Terry McLaurin hadn't missed a game for 4 years.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we still here, Taj. We still here. But I want to read some of Mike. I do want to say what Mike said. I mean, Mike, I'm going to give Mike his flowers. He was about keeping other players that needed signed on Wole at our cap. So this is a great point. But it's actually, again, all these dudes are 1-year deals. The money is available, bro. Ain't no cap about keeping what player. Keeping what player. The money is all available. All the players that you're referring to are all 1-year deals.
Yeah, it's not about Washington don't have to.
Yeah, Glen, you're on mute. You muted yourself.
Oh, my bad. It's not about Terry and Washington not having the money. It's about Washington pulling the trigger with the money.
That's all it is. They have all the money.
Washington has the money. Yo, my man Cam Curl just tweeted, yo, number 17, pull up. Everybody's
Cam Curl's out here. That's what I'm saying.
Cam Curl's tweeted, you know, and we know Cam Curl plays for the Los Angeles Rams. He said, pull up 17.
I wouldn't trade for a running back because running backs you can get like a running back. Like you can get a running back. Louisville Payne, you want to keep Payne? Come on, bro. What we doing here? Now you're from Payne? I like Payne, but now you want to resign? Look, right?
I
mean, Louisville's definitely somebody that's important to keep. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But Kinlaw ain't
going to be here next year.
Kinlaw may take Payne's spot because Kinlaw is looking nice in camp from what I've heard. Kinlaw is looking.
I can't see a scenario where Deron Payne's here next year. That's the first guess.
No. Y'all know, hey, Mike, you know I like Payne. You know I like Payne. But the writing is on the wall with Payne, my dude. They got replacements in the building for him, bro. I love Payne, bro. But they ain't one. Lou gonna get his money. That's not hindering the cap. Most of the dudes they got are 1-year deals. They're all gonna be gone. So they're gonna still be able to spend money. And then most of the guys that you like, they're on their draft. They're still on their draft money. They're not. Washington hasn't paid anybody
big future contracts. Michael Underwood, Mikey Sanders still is one of those guys.
But that's
say is in line.
But that's so like far.
It's a ways away. It's a ways away. It's 3 years away.
The only person market wise that you really got to worry about, because of money, and you want to but again, it's Jaden. But you got time. You can still maneuver that. That's Jaden. Everybody, real talk.
I mean, Laramie
Tunsil is another one. That's it. But
yeah.
Are you signing Lattimore? Chances are you're not. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because Amos and
he's gonna have a hell of a year, Lattimore.
Chances are you're not going to sign these dudes, bro. I'm just telling you that the money argument, it's not about money. Exactly. It's not about money. Believe me. That's what I'm saying.
It's analytics. We live with analytics.
Yeah.
Wow. And somebody at Timothy brought that up, and I'm glad Taj brought that up because and I guess it's the mood I've been in because I've been, I've been bombarded with baseball analytics, and it's one of the things that's killed the game for me.
I had analytics.
I understand doing that and relying on those. But again, analytics cannot measure how you keep a locker room together.
They don't.
The emotion that players play with, the passion that players play with. And to me, that's why I continue to say I think Adam Peters is not reading the room here. Because if you're relying on just the analytics, sure, Terry McLaurin's 30, and after 30, most guys decline. But I'll go back to what I said before. Because of his durability and because he is surrounded by more talent than he's ever been surrounded by before, why couldn't Terry McLaurin be better at 31, 32, or even 33?
I mean, it depends on where you are. Go ahead. It depends on where you land on. I'm not an analytical dude, so I mean, if that's what Adam Peters has, wants to. How many Super Bowls is San Francisco's analytical organization? How many Super Bowls they win so far? With their thought process?
None, but they got in there a couple times. They got in there 3 times?
Yeah, I mean, and they should have won at least one.
They should have won.
Analytics, because it was an analytical thing. And that's Super Bowl.
I mean, the analytics are great, but this is the problem with those is that it's overruling not only the certain elements that are human, it's also overruling what you've seen.
Oh, bro. I
ask people, be careful with that because analytics ruin basketball, it ruined baseball, and it's threatening to ruin basketball. And it could ruin football. People over rely on it too much. You got to have a mix of both here.
What?
But it got Golden State a couple championships.
Oh, that's a different beast though. See, that's talent. I got an argument for that one. That's the basketball. I'll tell you about that one. That's different though. I'm gonna tell you why. Well, that's a whole different. We'll talk about that.
And Michael Underwood, that's a great point. But again, you're asking. We already know that wide receiver is going to be a big thing for us next year in the draft. Probably in the draft, not free agency. But why are you willing to put the quarterback in a situation where he doesn't have the requisite talent now?
All right. That's my point. That's my point. All right. So Mike, you're gonna be surprised. If you're gonna target a wide receiver, that's fine in draft. That's cool. I think you can get enough. Truth be told, I ain't gonna hold you. Wide receivers are so talented in the draft, you could. And that's not even. I'm not gonna argue that, Brody. But I will say this though. What are your expectations this year? I thought you wanted to win the bowl this year. This year. Because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Mm-hmm. In a couple years, say you get a better quarterback. Look, man, I'm gonna be real. We've seen some disastrous stuff happen from one year that we had a successful year to a next year where something bad happened. You know what I mean? So I don't ever get, but if you have an opportunity to make, and you feel like you really got a shot, right? Do it. I mean, I believe everybody in this chat believes that it's Washington. All right, you know what? Von Miller didn't come here just to say, you know what? Let's not put our best team out this year. Let's put in our best team in the following year. Von Miller came here for a particular reason. Am I correct? He came here to win a bowl.
He said he came to win Super Bowl.
Exactly. And Players like Von Miller don't come here just to say, all right, we're not putting all our chips out there. I ain't making this. So if you're saying Mike, if you're talking about you're right to your point, getting a wide receiver in the draft, shoot, if you think you wasn't going to keep Terry, you could have did that right. You could have did that this year. You could have, with the first pick overall, your first round pick, you could have got a wide receiver this year. Because there are a bunch of, I agree with you. I've said you can get a bunch of talented, if you draft right, you get a dude in the first round in the NFL draft. You get a dog. I'm just saying, so you could have done this year if you believed that was the case. Because if you knew, if you kind of had an idea, all right, this negotiation is going to be a challenge, you can go that route. So George said, well, that's what AP is thinking. That's what AP is thinking. We win a Super Bowl this year. That's why he's spending the money on defense. Okay. So to my point, you're going to want to have your best players out there. If the goal is to win a bowl now, you're going to have to have your best players out there. Yes. Wide receivers are easy to replace. True, but wide receiver 1 is not even drafting. Yeah, I agree. Joe, I agree. It's tough to find. I agree. That's one when you got to do who can still put up numbers in bad situations. You should really try to cherish that. That's all. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I think we kind of are, but that's my point. Todd, you mean Terry will be out there? What are you talking about?
I think he's talking about Terry will be a Washington Commander. If I'm not mistaken, Todd.
Okay.
I think Terry ends up being a Washington Commander when it's all said and done.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I do too. I know. That's why I just like entertaining stuff. Because I know why. This is my thing. I'm with you. I think Terry will be a Commander easily. And then I'm going to have so much material. Because some of y'all going to have to cheer for this dude. All these lights. Some of y'all going to really have to cheer for this dude. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. If he's not here, then it is what it is. But I'm like, he's going to be a Commander. And some of y'all are going to have to cheer for him. And then if he has a good year, you're going to have. It's the wild thing about it is, though, like, this is the funny thing. If he has a good year, if he has a year like he had last year, right? Mm-hmm. Folks going to say, like, damn, we got a bargain for Terry. That's the funny thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about it, it's going to be like, we got a bargain for Terry. That's the funny thing. Like, if he does the same exact thing he did last year, what's going to be the argument? If he comes back, it's going to be what? People are going to be like, dang, like, yeah, we only got Terry for this much. Or it'll be like, dang, he was over. Like, will it be like he's overpaid? Like, what would be what's the argument? How can you, because chances are he's going to, like, you got Jaden Daniels, bro. You're going to probably put up good numbers. So what's going to be the argument? That's what I'm saying. Like, I enjoy it. Like, because I do believe that, like, all this, I do believe he's going to be here. One way or the other, he's going to be here. And if he produces, I'm like, all right. But like, I just want to enjoy it. That's why I'm like, hey, George, you're definitely right. I'm holding receipts thoroughly. Like, I'm watching it. Like, I want to take a picture of this. Like, this guy. It's going to be
CVS. It's going to be one of them CVS.
I'm going to take a picture because Mike was going ham today. So I'm going to take a picture.
Don't need to take a paper. I got it. I got you.
You got me?
Franchise him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, folks.
For a franchise, it's more money.
Go down.
I don't think you need to, because that's more. Like, I think you're paying more.
Not just that, but if you go down that road with a franchise tag, you're sending a bad message to potential free agents that you're going to want, and to people that you draft, because you're going to sit here and say, well, you can produce for us, but we don't really value you, and we'll just tag you. People ain't going to want to come, even with Jaden Daniels a quarterback, if that's how you treat them. And that's what this comes down to is, why are you treating somebody that and again, it also goes back to what Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and other players have said. This is a guy that has helped reset this culture, helped build this new culture, has been absolutely integral to the success. Why are you going to treat him like that? Why are you going to say, oh, well, we'll just let him play it out and franchise tag him? That if you want to get players to come to your organization, good players, it's not how you do business.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. My man Glen got situated. Hey, I'm telling you, bro.
Michael wants all the smoke. I love it.
Hey, Mike, I'm telling you, bro. I'm
Michael wants all the smoke. You gotta respect it.
Look. My receipt game is thorough, Mike. I'm telling you, bro. I don't know if you want this smoke. My receipt game is terrible, bro. I'm Nigerian, I'm petty. I got this thing in my mind that keeps rolling. Like, I'm birth petty. Like, I am birth petty, man. I'm here waiting for it. I'm here ready for it, bro.
Wole's ready for the petty Olympics.
Oh man, man, like, I'm looking at it like, hey, Paul, you know what? Guess what? I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna lie to you. You was number one on my list. Todd, you done better on my list. Hey, Mike, you number one now, bro. You number one on my list. So
Paul, and Paul, you're right about the money. Players will come with the money, but you're going to have to pay more.
They not.
You got to pay more in that situation.
You know what? I agree, but they're not gonna be like the Snyders, bro. Like they're gonna be responsible with the money, so they're not gonna pay that much more, bro.
And again, you're not setting a precedent here because nobody else is ever going to fit Terry McLaurin's situation because nobody from that's went through what Terry McLaurin's went through with the bad teams, the bad coaches, the bad quarterbacks, the lack of support surrounding him. That's not going to be the case for anybody going forward because we have Adam Peters, because we have Dan Quinn, and because we have the new ownership.
Let me address this because people know who I am. Paul. Who am I, bro? Paul, who am I? Don't I come out here and stand on business? If I'm wrong, don't I come out here and say I was wrong? I? Come on.
Remember the full screen apology for Marcus Mariota that he did?
Come on, bro. What we doing here? But best believe though, when I'm right, y'all coming on air. Best believe when I'm right, I'm gonna put the link in the chat and you coming on air. Because it's easy. I'm out here. When I'm right, I'm gonna give you the link. Mike, you gonna pull up too, and we gonna rap. Yeah. He said, "Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got you. You know, when I'm right, I'm pulling the link up there, and you gonna eat the crow, and you gonna sit there and be like, dang, this dude here. You know what I'm saying? You gonna say this dude here. But I like this question. I like this question from my man George. I don't want to like. How many Pro Bowl years do Terry have left? That's a very good question. So personally, I'm responsible with my money. I feel like 2 years, because I feel like I like to average out like the norm in the NFL at that position, right? At wide receiver. I feel like 33 is stretching it. It can happen, obviously, and like 33. I think responsibly, like give him 2 to 3 years, like 33. 32, 33 is probably where I think he has two of his, like his still his prime level of play. But after that, bro, I can't tell you. That's why I'm like, I would give him like a thoroughly long deal, personally.
I think it's 3 years. I think he's going to give you 3 more years of that level because again,
hey, Mike,
he's never had this kind of talent around him until last year.
I think he gets 3 years. I think he does 3 years, and I think he can do 3 years successfully and play at a high level. We got to realize guys are playing a little bit older. Terry hasn't taken that many hits as a Washington Commander, and so he has an opportunity to play longer. And he has a quarterback who gets the ball out of his hands quicker and who makes it better.
Yeah, I know, but I know you outside. I know I saw you, Mike. I see you, Mike. Hey, go ahead with that. Yeah, the Jamin Davis thing's gonna live in infamy, y'all, with me. I can tell, man. Mike is like that one person that got the same joke 24/7, bro. Like you got the same joke, but
it's still funny.
No, I'm not hating on it at all. Like it's like that card you gotta pull out there every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't mad. Look, man, I ain't mad at Mike. Mike, my guy. We about to end. Like, yeah, it's right. It's true. You know what? We've been out here for too long, so we got to end this show up for real. I do want to answer this question. Joe said, "What is the highest you guys are willing to pay him per year?" I mean, I'm cool with personally 33, but I'm 32 for real. I like 32. I like the number 32. 32 for me.
I want the 33, 32 range. I think that's what he deserves, and or I give him a heavy, high guaranteed money, and had a contract less. High guaranteed money, good guaranteed money with a 29, 30 mil. 33 is where we at.
33.
I'm in the same range with all of you. 3 years, 100 million.
I just
70 million guaranteed.
I don't think 28 is I just don't think I've heard 28. I don't think that's just fair. That's where I'm at.
28 is not fair.
Yeah, that's what I've seen some of that stuff. That's what I don't like. It's the 28.
Yeah, 28 is too low, and when Washington is offering that, they should be shot because it's too low. Terry's a $30 million receiver, or at least $33 million receiver.
Yeah,
some of those that are on this.
Where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Paul, you get 32.5.
Yeah, I'm around that.
That's right. That's reasonable.
But some of the stuff I've seen because of the Sutton deal, because I've seen it, I've heard 28. I'm like, that's not. To me, if that's a reason that if you offer me 28 and you ain't budging, then I can see why you're asking for a trade. That's where I'm at though. Then I can see why that's the thing. I feel like if they offered him 30, it's still not bad. I think 30 ain't off, like, to be real with you. I'm not mad at 30. But yeah, I think they offer you 30. I can see why he would be like, yeah, we're not really talking. We're playing around. Now, if I give you 33, I'm not giving you. I agree. I'm cool with that. Again, Taj, we agree. The weird thing is we actually do agree. See, I'm not mad. Like, see, I would give him more than 30, but I'm not mad at 30.
I mean, 30 is at least somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, I'm not mad at 30, right? Like, I'm not mad at 30. Like, I'm not mad at it. Like, I think he's worth more than 30, but I'm not mad at 30. If I was Terry and they offered me 30, I would do 30 with incentives, though. I would do 30 with incentives and see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I take incentives, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. All right, well, you know what? We about to close the show out, man. This has been dope. Everybody in chat was like humming. I appreciate y'all, man. Mike, I got love for you, bro. We were going back and forth, bro. You my guy. As usual, you know what I'm saying, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it was, Mike, and you're awesome, bro. You know, I still haven't eaten dinner, bro. I know, yeah. Look, I know, and I hate agreeing with Wole. Look, man, look. I appreciate y'all, man. This is what I like about life, man. You know what? In today's era, in a world when we may not have the same same opinions and agree on everything, but we can respectfully debate, which I love. I love that. You know what I mean? We ain't name calling. We ain't saying, yo, you ignorant. You ain't this. We can have a honest debate and just enjoy it and just talk ball. I love it. And Taj, I want to smoke too, Taj. Mike, I want to smoke. Paul, I want to smoke. All of y'all on my list, so don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. Yeah. Hey, y'all, be on standby by more news to come. Yeah. Be more news to come.
Yeah, we definitely be on standby more.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Like Paul reminded me, like the first week we got like 2 posts and pre-games, bro. In the first week, y'all.
We do.
I did not think about that. Good God. That's crazy.
We do.
That is
it's about to get real busy around here.
Oh, when will you guys be on next? Oh, we gonna be on
next Thursday, right?
Yeah, preseason game. Well, Thursday and then Friday. Y'all trying to do pregame, postgame for Friday?
Yeah. And then if Terry news drop, I mean, we may hop on. Whenever Terry news drop, we'll hop on. Terry's news drop before next week. We'll hop on for Terry.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? That's true. When Terry news drop, we on there. We in there. And I will wear New Jersey. Hey, I gotta end this show, man. Y'all have me rolling real quick. Y'all, yeah, thanks. Hey, appreciate you, George. Y'all only guys that respond to my questions. I love that. Oh man, of course, man.
We appreciate you, George.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like a volunteer. Yeah. Hey, Paul, I told you this year you're gonna be on the I'm gonna get you on the post pregame. We're gonna get you on. Post game, I think you more lit. Let's do definitely post game. You know what I'm saying? You can be on with us. But yeah, man, this has been dope. Appreciate all y'all for pulling up with us, man. This has been like we did a long one, obviously, because the reaction and the comments, we had to keep it going. So anyway, man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up with us, man, and like kind of like doing the vibe. Even again, I'm gonna say it. We all don't gotta agree with everything, but we want the best for the team. That's the overall thing. We want the best for the team. Anyway, you've been listening. First off, anything y'all want to add before I end it off? We all good?
We're good. Right. I'm good.
Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out. Peace.